Good after. Hello? Good after. Is it working? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to let you know you have about 30 seconds to find your seat, and I'll be back in a few minutes. So if you can start making your way to finding your seat, that will be greatly appreciated. Thank you, everyone, for finding your seats. As you know, we run an efficient ship around here at Women Employed, so we hope that we can start promptly so that we can end promptly. All right, well, we're at the top of the hour. I'd like to welcome you. Good afternoon. My name is Lynn Watkins Asiambi, and I'm the proud board chair of Women Employed. And I'm so pleased to welcome you to the working lunch today. I know despite these peerless times, we have high energy in this room, so we want to keep it high here. At a time when many of us are stressed, angry, and figuring out our way through the chaos, it is truly wonderful to be here with all of you gathered around a common cause. At Women Employed, everything we do is rooted in one clear mission: to improve the economic status of women and remove barriers to economic equity, especially for those that are most marginalized. And we are unapologetic about doing it by centering women's voices, especially those too often left out of the conversation. That focus has powered real, meaningful change. Together, we have secured protections against sexual harassment, challenged discriminatory hiring and promotion practices, won paid sick days and paid time off. Yes. Helped pass equal pay laws. That's even more important, equal pay. And unlocked millions in financial aid for working students. The victories are many and they're hard fought. Now we find ourselves in a moment of immense challenge, perhaps the toughest we faced in my lifetime. But let me be clear, we are battle-tested and battle-hardened. We know how to fight, and we're more determined than ever to protect our progress, our rights, and our future. I want to extend deep gratitude to my fellow board members. If you're in the room today, will you please stand up to be acknowledged? My fellow board members, your leadership during these challenging times is most gratefully appreciated and most inspiring. Next, to our tireless Women Employed staff. If you're in the room, please stand up. I know many of you are working, so stand up or raise your hand. We have a very small but mighty staff here at Women Employed. Under 30 for a truly remarkable organization. And they are in the trenches doing the work every day, making sure our rights are protected and we continue to make progress. So again, on behalf of the board, thank you so much to the staff at Women Employed. And to our incredible President and CEO, Sharita Ellens, for her vision and leadership. Please stand. You're not standing. This is what she does to me on a daily basis, tells me what I'm not doing, but if there is one person who I want leading this organization during these perilous times, it would be you, Sharita. So thank you so much for your vision and leadership. And a big thank you to our table leaders and hosts. Every year, you make this event a success, and it gets bigger and better. So thank you so much. And to our generous sponsors, I want to express our sincere gratitude, especially our champion sponsor, Wind Creek Chicago Southland, and our trailblazer sponsors, ComEd and International Services, Inc. On the screens, you see all of our amazing sponsors listed. Please take a moment and let's recognize them for their support. Before I let you get back to your lunch, which I know is going to be quick, I want you to look at the back of your program books. They were all in your seats. You'll find the hotel Wi-Fi information, which is really important because we need you to donate and purchase raffle tickets through that Wi-Fi. And don't feel like you have to wait for the program to start making your gifts. So we'll take a 15-minute break for lunch, and we'll reconvene after a brief message from Wind Creek Chicago Southland. And after that break, we'll start the program with a video and a powerful testimonial, so stay tuned. Again, thank you so much for being here this afternoon. You could be anywhere, and we really appreciate you being in the company of Women Employed. everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I'm loving the energy. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am loving the energy in the room, but as you all know, we start on time, we end on time, so we stay on time. So we are about to start our program. Please continue to enjoy your lunch at your tables, but please turn your attention to the screens. Immediately following the video, we'll welcome Vimla Holman to the stage. She's going to share a very personal story and why she is so invested in Women Employed's work to advance paid family and medical leave in Illinois. So thank you for coming. Program is getting ready to begin.
Our soul is rooted in community and activism. Since 1973, Women Employed has been centering women's voices and lifting up the lived experiences of women and fighting for them to have better futures. Over the past 5 decades, we have transformed lives.
I was placed in basically a dead-end position. Men were assistant vice presidents when I hadn't even been promoted to that first level. And people would look around and say, Janet, when do you think you're going to be promoted? I ended up testifying, and we won a wonderful settlement in the banking industry as a result of that, and a result of Women Employed's efforts in that arena.
I see myself as an advocate. I'm a social entrepreneur. I work to empower girls and empower our communities because Women Employed invested in me.
What I love about Women Employed is that the organization is passionate about helping lower-income women change the financial trajectory of their lives as well as their families' lives.
My name is Maria G. Ruiz. I'm a banquet server. I was fired because of the pandemic. Women Employed is being so helpful to women like me. They are advocating for us. If they weren't for them, our stories will be forgotten. They are a hope for everybody.
You know when you're working with Women Employed that their #1 goal is to ensure that women across Chicago have the most benefits, protections, and rights, and that they're going to be a partner at the table to make sure you get there.
To every woman who has felt marginalized in the workplace, to every woman who has been asked to do more for less pay, I see you, and Women Employed sees you.
Right now, our gains are being lost. Intolerance and discrimination are rearing their ugly heads. Our democracy is at risk, but Women Employed, we will not back down.
Now is the time more than ever to support Women Employed and support our women and girls. We cannot lose these gains. And so investing in Women Employed, making sure that there are strong organizations like Women Employed is so vital.
I find the work of Women Employed inspiring in this particular moment because the organization is stepping up and speaking out to protect our constitutional rights. So I'm personally grateful to Sharita and the dynamic WE team because they are demonstrating how to lead at a perilous time like this.
As we sit here today with the backdrop of the Trump administration, what's at stake for working women is everything: our lives, our children, our families, our friends, our community. We need you. Join us in demanding a better future for all of us.
Hi everyone, my name is Vimla Homan and I'm honored to be a guest of Women Employed. And I'm here today to encourage everyone to continue to advocate for paid leave. Because like many of you, I have had to choose between a paycheck or taking care of my child. So thank you for being here. And a little bit about me, I'm an Illinois resident, a nonprofit professional, and the happy and exhausted parent of a 3-year-old. I've always worked, and my pregnancy in 2021 was no different. And during my pregnancy, I filled out dozens of daycare applications, knowing, I would return to work after my unpaid family leave. And that was always the plan. And I started to worry a little bit when my daughter was almost here, and there was no, infant daycare spot opening available. And everyone assured me we would just figure it out when the baby came, and I'd just, find someone to take care of her. And spoiler alert, it would most definitely be me. I would be taking care of her, and I would be unpaid. My family and I, like many families, have pieced together unpaid leave, paid leave, work, lack of childcare, some childcare over the past 3 years. And like many women, I've lost thousands of dollars in the process. I've lost months, years really, of wages, I'm sure like many of you, and Social Security, contributions, retirement funds, and I definitely don't qualify for my student loan forgiveness program either. Because, as a caregiver, stay-at-home parent, what have you, you don't get these benefits. And although I've worked on and off since I gave birth, I've yet to find another full-time job in my field that works in tandem with a daycare spot that would allow me to take said job. So currently, I don't qualify for unpaid family leave, let alone paid family leave, and I do work. If I were to have another child, or if my daughter got, sick for longer than 5 days, it would be economically devastating. So I'd like to see Illinois become a state that supports all moms, parents, and caregivers. Because everyone, deserves to receive care, and everyone deserves to give care and be paid for it. So thank you for being here and supporting one of the organizations advocating for paid family leave in Illinois, Women Employed. That's it. Thank you.
Good afternoon again. Hello again. For real this time. I am Sharita Ellens, and I serve as the President and CEO of Women Employed. Vimla, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. It is not difficult. It's very difficult sometimes to get on the stage in front of 500 strangers and talk about your experience. So thank you for doing that. I'm not sure about you, but I need this day. The pause to acknowledge and celebrate our collective impact, and the personal reflections of resiliency, fortitude, hope, and activism are filling my cup. We are not in the reality that most of us in this room hoped for, but we at Women Employed, we planned for this outcome. Now, even with the planning, no one could have predicted the swiftness in which the agenda to undermine our freedoms and rights would be carried out. But my team does not and will not crumble under pressure. And Women Employed, our staff they're showing our mettle right now. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. The Constitution unites us as members of a whole, vesting the power of the Union in the people. It is our guide, it's our rule book for this experiment called the United States. The presidential administration is viciously attacking the fabric of our democracy, our core foundational values: equal opportunity, rule of law, liberty and justice for all. They are intentionally weakening and deconstructing the infrastructure and institutions that are meant to lift us all up. It is meant to look like chaos, but it is deliberate, methodical, and intentional. Things like Medicaid, Social Security, child care supports, they're withdrawing funding from educational institutions or putting in plants. They're attacking the agencies that enforce equal opportunity and prevent discrimination. They're removing funding from nonprofits who serve our most vulnerable and attempting to challenge our nonprofit status if we speak out against their actions or don't hold their beliefs, attacking free speech, threatening our voting rights. And you know that this is just the tip of the iceberg. This assault will have an impact on everyone in this room. But like most things, because of systemic racism and sexism, it will disproportionately impact women, especially those in low-income roles and Black and Latinx women. And we're not going to be afraid to say that. The damage will take generations to repair. While it may feel overwhelming, we cannot allow these things in our feelings to paralyze us. We must act together and rise to the challenge. The theme of this luncheon is centering women's voices, and I can assure you, women employed will not be silenced. We will not capitulate, and we will unapologetically continue to center women's voices in this fight. The voices, needs, and dreams of the most marginalized drive our resolve. We have launched a campaign called For the Common Good to ensure people know their rights, that they understand the work of the federal agencies that are on the chopping block or being rebuilt to weaponize, that they can access resources to keep them safe and financially secure, and take actions that will make an impact. We are monitoring threats from the administration, working with partners to find the best strategies to combat them, and mobilizing our supporters to get out, get loud, and raise their voices. And with our federal rights more vulnerable than ever, we are working hard to shore up our rights right here in Illinois, so our state remains a safe haven for all its people. While the federal government is making higher education less accessible, less equitable, and ultimately more expensive for those who can afford it the least, Women Employed is advocating for a bill that will provide Illinois public universities with adequate and equitable funding so that in Illinois, everyone has access to quality and affordable education if they want it. We are also still forging ahead with our work to ensure adequate MAP funding and reforming development education in our community colleges across the state. While the administration is attacking supports for caregivers, Women Employed is advocating for paid Family and Medical Leave Program in Illinois, to ensure that every family can take paid time off to care for themselves and their loved ones without risking their paycheck. We're also ensuring every worker understands how to access their paid time off that went into effect across Illinois and expanded in Chicago last year. While the federal government is intimidating employers into going back on their commitments to inclusion and equity, Women Employed is working with employers through our consultancy to help them build healthy work cultures where everybody has opportunity to fully participate and to thrive. We are also working to ensure everyone understands their equal pay rights, including the Salary Transparency Amendment that we passed that went into effect this January. While famous anti-DEI extremists are attacking anything and everything that appears to even the playing field, we are continuing to ensure women, and in particular women of color, have access to the resources and connections they need to imagine, launch, or scale their businesses through the WeHub. The administration actions are unconscionable, but they are not insurmountable. And we have the track record, the expertise, the strategic chops, and the sheer girl grit to stand up and fight back. We need you. We need you by our side. We need you more than ever before. Now, you know this is a fundraiser. It is. So I am going to ask you to be generous today. Your gift is a method of action, and the only way we can do this work, the work to protect workers, to protect women, and to protect and advance our rights. Every dollar will be put to good use. We have even greater challenges ahead, so please give as much as you can to ensure that we will be here. Women Employed will be here to take them on. So make your donations and purchase your raffle tickets. In line with our theme of centering women's voices, you will see a number of women from all walks of life on this stage today. But up next, please join me in welcoming Bridget Booker, who will share why the work of Women Employed matters to her.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm an owner of a construction company as well, and I just want to say to you, today I stand before you and I bring not only a policy success, but a personal story, one that shaped my advocacy and led to meaningful change for women in the workforce. I'm an iron worker by trade, and I'm proud to build the structures that shape our cities. But behind the strength and skill of my trade, I carried a devastating loss. The loss of my child while working in that industry. For too long, they say one day too long in the field. They failed to protect women during pregnancy and postpartum recovery. That moment, that heartbreak, is the fuel for my change. No woman should ever have to choose between her health, her family, and the career she has worked so hard to build. From that pain, my story and loss, I use boldness and simply ask, why? Why do we have to endure these measures that's unnecessary while others speak about the need of retention will protect us to keep us? My story and my stance in the Iron Worker Caucus spearheaded the Iron Workers Maternity Leave Program, ensuring that women in our trade will finally have paid maternity leave 6 months before birth, and 6 to 8 weeks after delivery. It was a groundbreaking step in an industry where pregnancy had long been considered a barrier rather than a phase of life to be supported. The trades were not keen to women expressing, "I'm pregnant." We're looked at as liabilities, walked off job sites. The loss is more, I'm sorry, y'all. The loss is about more than employment. Now you will lose your insurance benefits, and most importantly, the ability to provide for your children. I worried about my lights being cut off, how my kids is gonna eat. No one heard of maternity leave before that. I returned back to work in less than 48 hours after I miscarried my son. I had a different set of rules set for me. I was back on the job site in pain, physically and emotionally, because I couldn't afford to take time off. There was no policy, no protection, no support. I lost on May 5th. I'm adding this. I lost on May 5th. I didn't share I lost my son to September. I wanted to ensure I got my iron worker card. I was an apprentice, a third-year apprentice, and I went through a breaking phase. I'm not standing here just for myself. I'm standing here for many women that look just like me, many women that don't even look like me. I don't care what trade they from or where they come from or what they do. We all sisters, we all family. Women make up 51% of the population. We're a workforce. We deserve to be heard. We will be heard. Women deserve protections throughout their pregnancy, ensuring that they can work safely and comfortably. That's why the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, PWFA, passed June 23rd, was a critical milestone. This legislation guarantees that employers must provide reasonable accommodations for pregnant workers, whether it's light duties, extra breaks, union modifications, or flexible schedules. The law reinforces that what we should have always been true. Women should not have to ask for what should be a God-given right. And today, I'm proud to stand alongside women employed. And from hearing you guys, I want y'all to continue centering women's voices. So powerful, so needed. An organization that has spent over 5 decades advocating for economic equity and workplace protections. Their work ensures that policies like maternity leave and pregnancy accommodations don't just exist, but remain strong, enforced, and improved upon. They fight to change systems, work with legislators and employers, and empower women to demand their rights they deserve. We have come far, but we still have a lot of work to do. To every woman here today, your voice matters. Whether in ironworking, education, corporate, leadership, or service industries, no woman should have to sacrifice her well-being for a paycheck. We must continue to demand policies that reflect the realities of working women. Because when we fight for change, we are not just advocating for ourselves, we are building a future where no woman has to choose between her family and her career. Thank you.
gotta take a little breath. Whew, we have heard from so many powerful women today. Whew. Thank you for sharing your stories with us. Bridget, Vimla, as a working mom myself, my heart is with you, as I'm sure many of us are. Hearing from you, the two of you, drives home the point of why all of us are in this room together today. I'm Mary Kay Devine. I'm the Chief of Staff here at Women Employed. Thank you. Well, I hope you like this then, because I'm up here ready to ask you for some money. Just keep on smiling and clapping. We have a very ambitious fundraising goal of $100,000 today. And I know that's pretty high. I heard some whoop in the back. But we have already raised, we are up to, I can't really see this wheel. We're $338,000 towards our $430,000 goal. So we got to get to it, folks. If every single person in this room makes a gift of at least $250, if you are able, $250 at least, we will have no problem to reach our goal right now during lunch.
Hi, everybody. Again, Vimla, Bridget, thank you for your stories. They're super important, and it's important for the people in this room to hear those stories so they understand the impact that we can make today. I'm Nikita Burrell. I'm the treasurer of Women Employed. Thank you for joining us today to uplift Women Employed's work for centering women's voices and honoring those that join us in the fight. And I would be remiss in my duties as treasurer if I didn't also urge ongoing, increased, and new support. So that recognizes everybody in this room as an opportunity.
And two of our generous partners are providing incentives to help us reach this big goal today. So, like I said, if you donate at least $250, you will be eligible to win one of 3 international round-trip tickets from our partners at Southwest Airlines. We also have a very generous anonymous donor who will match gifts. So if you are brand new to Women Employed, you've never given us a dime, boom, whatever you give today will be matched. And if you've already given a gift and you come back with a larger gift, that gift will also be matched today. So, y'all, it's time to supersize this opportunity. Instructions are on the screens. There's QR codes all over this room and instructions on the back of your program book. And if you need the prompt, you might want to get your phones handy. You might want to have your phones handy, your pens, your checkbooks, whatever you need to make your donation.
Okay, folks, we have a large amount to raise today, but we're going to be able to do it in this room. The quickest way to get us there is by making some big money ask, and that's what we're going to do, and we're going to start at the $2,000 level. So, before we start, I want you to look at the people at your table, because we're going to have a little competition on which tables can bring in the most money and support the work of Women Employed. There we go. That's right. Get to know your neighbors. Get to know your neighbors. And remember, we have a generous donor matching new and increased gifts. So, let's start. Who today can give $2,000? Please raise your hands. All right, I love it. Woo! All right, they're in the back. Thank you very much. Who else? All right, yes. Y'all, this whole middle line is doing it. You guys on the side need to come up with it now. Is there anybody else that can donate today at the $2,000 level? Anybody else? Because I see you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Who else can do $2,000 today? Remember what we're doing. Remember Bridget's story. Remember Vimla's story. Is there anybody else that can give today at the $2,000 level? Okay. We got somebody else? All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you today and this afternoon. Let's move to the $1,000 level. All right, raise your hand. Thank you. We got $1,000 over here. Anybody else that can do 1,000? Oh, I love it. Absolutely great. Who else? Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, we got some people over here, right here, and over there. Okay, I see you. Oh, all the way in the corner back there. I saw you guys. You guys are amazing. Look at that. Yes. This is what we're talking about. Today, you are taking action. You're advocates. Is there anybody else that can do $1,000 today in the room? All right, then we're going to move to the next level, which is 500. And I don't believe leaving money on the table. So, you couldn't do 2,000. 1,000 was a little rich for you. But at the $500 level, you can still make a difference. If you can do 500, please raise your hands. Awesome, I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I see you all the way over there. That is awesome. I see another hand here, another one there. Thank you over there. Ooh, I see you two in the back. Thank you, I see you over there. Do we have anybody in the middle? Oh, okay. Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much. Anybody else on this side? Anybody else? Uh-oh, did I miss a hand? Okay, all right. We're making progress. We are making progress. Now, we're not gonna stop here. We wanna make sure that we have 100% participation. Whether it's $50 or 5,000 or 5,000 or 5,000, you can make an impact. And remember that $250 or higher, you're eligible to potentially win an airline ticket from Southwest Airlines. Thank you for participating in my lightning round. Mary Kate, back to you.
All right, y'all, that was exciting. Let's give ourselves a little round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So you heard Sharita. You've heard from Bridget. You heard from Vimla. You've heard the videos. You know what is at stake here today. Women Employed stand steadfast in our commitment to defend against rollbacks of our hard-won rights and protections. And we will continue to forge ahead towards a better future, fighting for things like paid family and medical leave. So women like you, Vimla, and you, Bridget, never, ever have to choose between your careers and your families again. We will fight for fair and equitable pay. We will fight for affordable and accessible education, for access to opportunities that allow women and our families to thrive.
And from my position on the board at Women Employed, I know that we have the wherewithal, we have the expertise, the strategy, the innovation, and the heart to see this through. But it will not happen on its own. And it requires all of us to act together, firmly, and loudly. This is my next ask. If anybody can do 250 or more, raise your hands right now. All right, raise them high. That looks good. I see you guys. This room is killing. Wow, okay, thank you, thank you. Anybody else? I've got a lot of hands over here. This is beautiful, beautiful. Thank you all. I would ask this. If you can't do the 5,000 or 10,000, I get it. But do something. Do something. Now is the time to dig deep and to stretch and make the most generous donation that you can make right now for this very important cause. We need all of you. So please make your gift now.
Okay, I'm looking for this fundraising wheel. Okay, it's going up, y'all, but not fast enough. So, donations are coming in, and we got to keep coming. So, I know a lot of you were busy raising your hands. Now's the time to be writing your checks and working on your apps. So, know that your donation in Women Employed is a positive investment in our collective futures for a society that values women, that values inclusion, equity, and fairness. So, please, again, make a gift now.
What lifts up women lifts up everyone. If you want a society that values women, it's time to make your gift now. If you can do the $100 level, raise your hands. All right, raise them high. I love it. More people. Thank you so much. The $50 level, raise your hands. All right. I love the participation. And again, anyone who donates $250 or more today could be gifted round-trip airline tickets anywhere in the world that Southwest Airlines flies. All right.
All right, I keep looking for this fundraising wheel. It continues to go up. I'm seeing it go up. We got to keep refreshing and hope that it continues to go up. So this is incredible. And we're just really trying to, with your support, make it to 100%. Your generosity is truly inspiring. And when people consider making a gift, they often ask us, so what exactly will my money do? Well, you've already heard a lot of examples, very specific examples of the important work that Women Employed does. But please also see the screens on my right and my left. In the middle of your program book, we map it out for you. We lay it out exactly how we will put your money to work.
And again, every donation matters. Again, whether it's $50, $5,000 or more, your support is what helps move the work forward. It's what allows us to fight back against these attacks on women's equity and economic security. So please be as generous as you can. I know that I see thumbs moving, so I know you guys are working on getting those in. We really appreciate you.
Okay, it continues to go up. So we've got a whole program for y'all, so we're going to wrap it up. Can anyone who has made a gift today, or you're working on making your gift, please stand up?
All right.
Anyone who's made a gift.
Please stand.
Raffle ticket,
Thank
donation.
you. Come on, guys. We got to be quick. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please stand.
Okay, now stay standing, because if you know Mary Kay Devine, I love to take a picture. So I'm going to capture this side of the room.
You guys are looking good over there.
Cheese,
All
smile,
right.
middle. You're looking good, middle. This part, okay, here, let me get over here. Let me get these folks, these beautiful people. All right, you're looking good. Thank you. Now, stay standing.
Stay standing, everybody. Stay standing.
I got one more ask. If you haven't not yet made a gift, but you're like, you know what, darn it, I'm going to make a gift before I leave today, I'm going to ask you to stand up too. And then you can be in my selfie.
All right, can everybody stand, please?
All right, is everybody ready? Even if you're just, the spirit hasn't moved you yet, but you're going to make a gift before you leave, then you can be in my selfie. All right, is everybody ready? Nikita, you in there?
I'm in there.
Cheese. Okay, this one's going in the Women Employed scrapbook.
Thanks for doing this for us. Your partnership is what will drive our ability to fight back and to keep advancing progress for women. And now, please take your seats and thank you. If you haven't already, you can continue to make donations throughout the whole program. Thank you so much for everybody who's given today so far. Your support is really appreciated. And so now it's my pleasure to introduce you to some incredible women who are making a huge difference in our community. Please welcome Women Employed's Stars de los Santos, who will introduce our first honoree, Izzy Dobel. Thank you.
How we feeling? You know I like energy. If you know me, I like energy. Good afternoon, buenas tardes, mi gente, my beautiful people. I love seeing all your faces today, so I'm so happy, and I'm so excited for this moment in particular. My name is Star de los Santos. I'm the Associate Director of Coalitions at Women Employed, and I'm so excited to introduce our first honoree. Today, someone who leads with heart, vision, and unapologetic purpose. Isabel Izzy Dobel. Yes, that's our girl. Izzy is everything, but she is a powerhouse who inspires people literally without even trying. She's deeply passionate about building political power for people of color, especially women, and has put in the work across every level of government. She's played important roles on state and local national campaigns. She served as the Women's Outreach Director for the governor and lieutenant governor. She served on the Equal Pay Chicago Coalition. steering committee, helping guide our strategic vision to eliminate the wage gap in Chicago. Slight resume, right? Slight. And Izzy now serves as the Deputy Chief of Staff in the Office of the Speaker. And trust me, y'all, she is just getting started. I first met Izzy when she first worked with the Lieutenant Governor, and she came to a meeting at Women Employed. And I remember thinking, oh my God, she's so cool, I have to be her friend. And she said yes. And from then on, Izzy has inspired me to dream bigger and to fully step into my power. So I'll always be thankful for her for that. She just has a way of making others believe in their own brilliance. Izzy is a force. She's making a difference for women, Latinas, immigrants, and communities that have been long overlooked. It's my joy to present her with our Emerging Power Builder Award. Please join me in celebrating the amazing, the beautiful, my friend, Izzy Dobel, to the stage.
Strategic, bold, driven. A rising force in the labor and policy arenas, Izzy Dobel has shaped key wins for working people, from paid time off in Chicago to wage equity across the state. She connects grassroots power with policy making at the highest levels, and she gets results. A leader to watch and one who's already making waves.
Well, thank you, everyone. It's so amazing. Thank you so much, Star. So my name is Izzy Dobel. I go by Isabel. I'm the Deputy Chief of Staff for the Illinois House Speaker. I'm going to actually move this around a little, too. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you again for being such a guiding light in my life and really being a mentor in my life. It means the world to me to accept this award with the original power builder, my mother, who is online watching, and of course my fiance, Tanner, being here for me 100% of the way. So I have the deepest and distinct honor of serving Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch as his Deputy Chief of Staff, and also serving our Chief of Staff, Clayton Harris III, and a brilliant team of directors who put their entire heart in their work. And anyone who knows Springfield, we're all running around right now trying to get things done before the deadline, so I'm so appreciative of all of them. And some of you may know, I'm an immigrant from Venezuela. My family moved here when I was very young, and we moved to the States without a promise, but with a hope for better opportunities, for better education, careers, and just a better life. When I was younger, this hope manifested in the phrase, "I'm just happy to be here." Whether I knew it or not, it was really limiting. "I'm just happy to be here" stifles the spark needed to fight for equal pay, fight for dignity in the workplace, and fight for a better quality of life for everyone. So a few years ago, I began to confront this idea and started my work organizing to address the Latina pay gap. Through my work with Women Employed and the Labor Council for Latin American Advancement, we have advanced the fight for equal pay. There's so much more to do. Additionally, in partnership with Women Employed, we passed the Chicago Paid Sick and Safe Leave policy, which ensures everyone can accrue paid time off, and they shouldn't have to forego a paycheck to take a day off. We have so much further to go. And as the proverb says, to go far, we must go together. So I have no doubt that with the champions in this room, we can go this distance. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ivy Hart, and I am WE's Director of Business Development. And I have the absolute pleasure of introducing our next honoree, Gail Eisenberg, a force for equity, justice, and community change. Gail is a two-term New Trier Township Supervisor, a dedicated mom of two, and a civil rights attorney who fights fiercely for workers who are often overlooked, including women, people of color, and people with disabilities. She has advanced protections against discrimination, expanded workers' rights, and pushed for employer accountability. As a fellow lawyer myself, Gail's commitment to fighting for equity and justice for workers is inspiring. As the administration dismantles agencies that enforce workplace rights and protections, it will fall to lawyers like Gail to defend those rights in the courts. When Gail isn't in court, she's fighting alongside organizations like ours. She's fought alongside us for paid leave and workplace rights. She serves on the steering committee of the Illinois Time to Care Coalition and is a member of the Illinois Paid Sick Days Coalition. Whether it's serving with the Chicago Bar Association, mentoring young advocates, supporting the Girl Scouts, or championing families facing premature birth, Gail's tenacity, heart, and relentless work is changing lives. We are proud to honor her today. Please welcome our 2025 Champion Award recipient, Gail Eisenberg.
Relentless, principled, a fighter for justice. Gail Eisenberg stands up for workers facing discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. When the system fails, she does not. In the courtroom and the community, she defends rights, drives policy, and builds power for the people who need it most. She is the legal backbone of a more just future.
Looking out at this room filled with amazing advocates and supporters for women's access and equality at work, it's easy for me to get a bit emotional. I want to thank my current and former colleagues and family who know that I can get emotional. I want to do the best for my clients as an attorney, and for my family as a mother of two, and for my community as a township supervisor. And that can mean a few tears or some salty language. I was certainly emotional when I gave birth to my daughter 5 weeks too soon without even FMLA's unpaid maternity protections. So I got involved in Women Employed's effort for paid family medical leave insurance. I was certainly emotional when I was told to pump milk for my second baby in a courthouse bathroom. So I worked with the ACLU to ensure lactation accommodations in courthouses. I was certainly emotional as I heard stories from workers who suffered adverse actions because they had young children at home or because they cared for a family member on their own time. So I worked with NELA Illinois and the Center for Work-Life Law to prohibit family responsibilities discrimination in employment. Employees are often emotional when they call me about discrimination, harassment, accommodations, or retaliation, which they may need time to process. So we worked with the coalition to extend the statute of limitations for complaints to the Illinois Department of Human Rights from 300 days to 2 years, and clarified that employers can be held accountable for their roles in permitting gender-based violence. Women Employed has been standing by my side as I became a lay advocate because they are there for women from the schoolroom to the boardroom and some of our most emotional times. So I've been proud to stand with them in achieving equal pay wins, like requiring pay transparency and the ban on salary history inquiries. Despite what many of us are told as little girls, being emotional isn't necessarily a bad thing. It allows us to find our passions, prepare for the fight, and empathize with others. And the news out of Washington is emotional. Just because we're in emotional times and we might be emotional does not mean that we're not clear-eyed about what must be done to ensure a diverse, equitable, and inclusive Illinois. And I know that Women Employed will be there for us every step of the way. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Chris Warden, WE's Vice President of Policy and Programs.
And I'm Sharmili Majmudar, Executive Vice President of Policy Programs and Research.
Opening the door to women in the trades contributes to closing the gender wage gap and building women's economic power. Since 1981, Chicago Women in Trades, or CWIT, has led making skilled trade jobs and apprenticeships accessible to women through research, advocacy, training, and employer union and government partnerships. From the beginning, they've blazed trails in combating discrimination and harassment prevalent on job sites. In the last year, we joined a CWIT-led coalition to create a Chicago ordinance to ensure equity in city construction contracts, which has given me the opportunity to see firsthand their strategic policy approach.
CWIT is currently suing the Trump administration. They are challenging executive orders that target diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility initiatives, terminate equity-related federal grants and contracts, and threaten to roll back the clock on decades of hard-fought progress towards ending discrimination. These executive orders would decimate work to expand economic opportunity, not only for the primarily Black and Latina women that CWIT has brought into the trades, but all women working to build a future for themselves and their families. It is yet another example of how CWIT courageously stands up for tradeswomen and for all of us, and why they are also this year's champion honoree. Please join us in welcoming CWIT's Executive Director, Jane Malinga, and Christina Burles-McEntee, who is also Director of their Tradeswomen Building Infrastructure Initiative. Christina and Jane.
Trailblazing, fearless, unyielding. Since 1981, Chicago Women in Trades has opened doors for women in the skilled trades and challenged the systems that keep them out. They're building power through training, partnerships, and bold action, including standing up to federal attacks on equity and inclusion. Their legacy is a workforce transformed and a future reimagined.
Thank you, Sharmili. Chicago Women in Trades is honored to receive this recognition from women employed with whom we share a mission and a history of fighting for women's economic equity. Our founding director, Lauren Sugarman, who's here today, reminds me how fortunate we have been to have women employed in our city. Our growth and successes were possible because we weren't alone. We were part of a local sisterhood of feminist organizations. Women Employed was more than, hang on a second. More than a partner. CWIT learned how to grow our organization, raise our voices, think strategically, and open doors to policymakers. Founded by tradeswomen in 1981 or 82, it depends which founder you talk to, and we have two of them here today. Our focus is on eliminating barriers that limits women's participation in high-wage careers in the construction trades and other blue-collar jobs. CWIT addresses this issue comprehensively through training programs, policy advocacy, industry engagement, and building a supportive community of tradeswomen. While we celebrate women's progress in many fields, the experience of tradeswomen in an industry that is still less than 5% women illustrates how far we still have to go. And now, some would like to erase all of these decades of progress. On the first day of the Trump administration, Executive Order 11246 was revoked, ending a 50-year law requiring federally funded contractors to recruit and retain women in their workforce. It was replaced by two anti-DEI orders threatening the termination of funding to organizations like ours if we engaged in undefined, illegal, and immoral DEI activities. Shortly after, CWIT received notifications that our grants were under review and could be canceled. This represents an existential threat to our work and civil rights in America. We had no choice but to challenge these orders in court. While we have won a preliminary injunction, the dismantling continues with the hollowing out of the Women's Bureau and the termination of their grants, effectively ending the federal government's investment in promoting women's progress in non-traditional occupations. Our movement cannot be ended by the stroke of a pen. What we do to resist and to support one another in this ongoing fight for a just, what everyone does in this moment matters, in the ongoing fight for a just and equitable world. We stand with tradeswomen who are on the front lines of the fight for women's economic equity, and I want to introduce my coworker, Tina, to say a few words about her experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. As she said, my name is Tina. I am a proud plumber of Local 130 here at Chicago for the last 25 years. Thank you. So what is it being a tradeswoman? It's not easy. You heard from my sister Bridget. It is not easy. There are constant barriers that we're fighting. We're either worried about getting hired, worried about getting fired first. We're worried about whether or not our partner is going to actually be a partner or an opponent, whether we're going to be trained. And these are the things that when I joined the CWIT community, I found out what CWIT really is. Because it's not just about training. It's not just about getting into an apprenticeship program. CWIT is home. CWIT is support, physical, mental, emotional. These aren't things that you just get anywhere, but you get it here. And this is why it's so important to keep these type of organizations going. We will not allow what's happening right now to continue. Stand with Chicago Women in Trades, stand with Women Employed, because we have come way too far to go back now. We will not go back. Thank you.
We got to get the pictures. Thank you so much to Jane and Christina and to CWIT for everything that you are doing. I am so grateful for everything that you're doing to open doors for women and to stand up against the unjust and unlawful actions of this administration. I now have the immense pleasure of introducing our keynote for today. Andrea Zopp, also known as Andy, is a powerhouse whose impact is felt far and wide. As managing partner of Cleveland Avenue, she leads their work to invest in and support minority and women entrepreneurs. She also hosts CAN TV's weekly program, Chicago's Newsroom 2.0. She previously, hear you, Darius. She previously served as president and CEO of World Business Chicago, the only woman to hold that position, and I believe the only person of color, I could be wrong. She also served as the president and CEO of the Chicago Urban League, lends her expertise on multitude of nonprofit and for-profit boards, including chairing the Board of Trustees of Chicago State University. She is a force, and throughout her career has used her position and influence to ensure the voices of women and people of color are at the table. Please join me in welcoming Andy Zopp to the stage.
Thank you, Charita. Really appreciate you. Okay, they said my speech was going to be on this screen. Apparently not. Okay, I'll just read it. Hey everybody. I am so thrilled to be here, and I know that I'm kind of the last thing between you and the rest of your day, so I'm going to follow the guide rules given to me by my good friend and an amazing speaker, Connie Lindsay. She said, be direct, be on point, be brief. So I'm thrilled to be here today. This has been an amazing event, and oops, hold on. Wrong remarks. My remarks are here, right? Okay. Hold on 1 second, because I didn't bring them with me because I expected them to be here. I could just wing it, which would be good. Wing it? Okay, I'll wing it. So I'll wing it, although they were really good. But let me just start with first, what an amazing program, right? Right? An incredible program. Personally, well, I didn't want to, I'm sorry, I know I'm at the end of the program, but I was just so glad not to follow Bridget Brooks, right? Booker, sorry. She was amazing, but so was Vilma. Thank you so much. It is hard to get up here and bear your personal story to move something forward. That is a deep form of advocacy right there, and we thank you both for sharing that with us. It's powerful. I'm humbled to be here, both because of the incredible work of Women Employed, but also the incredible advocacy that you already heard from our other honorees, all right? Izzy Dobell, who's already doing amazing work, and Gail Eisenberg fighting, and Chicago Women in Trades, who has been fighting to open the door of opportunity in an environment that you now know how hard and tough it is. So just the work that they're doing. So congratulations to all of our honorees. So when I did write my remarks, one of the things that I was thinking about is the point of this centering women's voices, right? And this is the thing, how incredibly resonant is that theme right now, right? When we are faced with an assault on our voices, on our right to have a voice, not just on our rights, but on our rights to speak out about it, on our right to trying to make us be quiet and to send us home. So the idea of centering women's voices is super powerful and so appropriate, and we need to remember that, particularly at this time, because our voice, it's why, by the way, for those of you who haven't figured it out, there's a reason why there's a threat to the First Amendment. There's a reason why people who speak out are being arrested. There's a reason. If you think about history, I was a history and science major in college. I love history. One of the reasons I love history, because it's profound and it speaks to us. I have actually a photo in my office of a picture of two water fountains, the black one and the white one. And it says those of us who forget our history are doomed to repeat it. So when you're thinking about history, think about all the authoritarian governments that you know that we've defeated. This is what they do. They silence dissent. They create stupid rules. They take things that should make sense and try and make them unsensical. They create chaos, because in that environment, it becomes hard for advocates like us, for policymakers to stand up and make reason. So don't forget that what they're doing, that while it may seem crazy, it is intentional, and we have to stand up, continue to stand up and fight it, and how powerful and how lucky we are to have an incredible organization like Women Employed that has for 50 years been fighting on the issues that matter, creating opportunity, removing barriers to economic opportunity and equity for women. So thank you for what Women Employed. Thank you, Sharita, for your incredible leadership of Women Employed. And thank you to every single one of you in this room today who helped to support this organization and what they do. It is important because our rights are under attack, and if we don't stand up, we can't expect other people to do that. So I just want to remind you of that. One of the quotes that I looked up, you all remember Amanda Gorman, our Nobel Youth Laureate, and one of that poem she wrote about being the light. She said, there is a light if we're brave enough to see it, and we're brave enough to be it. Women Employed has been and will continue to be brave enough to be the light for advocacies for us. So let's continue to support it. So what else? Yes? So Sharita had said, and it's true, I have for most of my career worked hard to try and support women and elevate them, elevate their voices, create opportunity, open doors, because I understand how much we bring to the table, and most importantly, I understand and appreciate the barriers that often get in our way that other people don't see. So it's really important to me. Right now, the work I'm doing at Cleveland Avenue, I lead a fund, an investment fund that invests. One of my favorite things to do, I take other people's money and get to do what I want to do with it, which is invest it into entrepreneurs who are running businesses led by women and people of color who are incredible, but who get a fraction, I mean less than 5% of the venture dollars that are invested in businesses goes to women and people of color. Let me say that again, less than 5% of the hundreds of millions and billions of dollars that gets invested in businesses goes to women and people of color. So I'm trying to fight that because you can't run a business and grow a business without capital. You just can't. And there's also not a lot of people who look like me, women and people of color, making investments. And so we're trying to change that paradigm because I don't assume that someone who's starting a business and doing well is doing it and gonna get advantage because they're a woman or person of color. I assume they're doing well because they're an amazing business leader and they just need the support that others don't get. So it's a privilege. So I just want to say, in addition to doing what you're doing here to support women employed, a couple other things I would call you to think about doing. One is to support other institutions and other amazing leaders. Sharita mentioned that I have the privilege of chairing the board at Chicago State University. Chicago State is the only predominantly black serving four-year college in the city of Chicago. And it has an incredible leader who many of you know, Z. Scott. We are a critical place of creating economic opportunity. We are in the top 4% of universities nationwide in advancing social mobility. Do you know what that means, right? Creating those doors of opportunity. 70% of our student population are women. And we're focused through our incredible president, Z. Scott, in creating opportunities for them. Sharita mentioned earlier the bill on advancing educational equity and pay, or educational support for universities, increasing equity in that. That bill is pending in the Senate, in the legislature right now. It's critically important to creating support for institutions like Chicago State that are there for students who need a chance, who need a chance to have that opportunity. But we also do other things for our students because they need other supports. We've opened a child care center for our students that we didn't have. We've created a food pantry for our students that they didn't have so that when they can come to school, they can focus on school, not worrying about child care for their child or feeding their families. So support institutions like that who have strong leaders who care about the same things you care. And the last thing I want to say to do is support leaders, elected leaders who care about the things you do. If we don't know anything right now, we know that it matters who gets elected, right? It matters. And let me tell you something else. You all may remember a while ago I ran for office, and one thing I learned when I ran for office is it's expensive. Because half of you people in the room I probably called and begged for money, right? It's expensive, it costs money. So support of people you care about, who you know are gonna support the policies that you care about, and support their campaigns because it matters. And if you don't support them, it makes it harder for them to run and most importantly, to win. So those were the things I would leave you with. So I want to just, again, say thank you to Charita and the board for asking me to be here. It's a humbling privilege to stand with the people who grace this stage today, and to stand with this incredible organization who is fighting every single day to ensure what was just said, that we do not go back. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
I just whispered to Andy that was amazing for someone who did not have their remarks in front of her. She is the example of that powerhouse that I aspire to be. So thank you so much for today. Thank you to all of our honorees today. Thank you to all of our supporters, our honorees. You heard from them, Izzy, Gail, Chicago Women in Trades, to Bridget and Vimla for sharing your very powerful and inspirational stories, because for some, you might hear a story of challenge or loss, but I also hear a story of triumph and in power and in strength, which is all the things that women represent. So thank you for that today. Thank you to all of the women employed staff. You all are amazing, and I feel so privileged to work alongside of you each and every day, and I could not imagine in this moment of time leading an organization without each and every one of you. I'm grateful for all that you bring to the table, your commitment, your strength, your care, your empathy, your laughs. You keep me on my toes, so thank you. Thank you. There is still time for you to make your gift. There is still time. They are telling me we are at $373,000. So we are so close. We are so close. So just continue to make those gifts. If you prefer to write a check, put them in the envelope on your table, and we have staff and volunteers that will definitely collect them. There's still time for you to go online. Please stay connected with us. Follow us on social media. Sign up for our emails. I think that's really important. Sign up for our newsletter. Sign up for our action alerts. You have to know what's going on. I know a lot of us are resting, but let me tell you, it's time to stop resting. Y'all, this is real, and we are in some real times. And you have to know what's going on. You have to be aware. And if you're not going to be on the front lines, make sure you send your check to the people that are. That's us. So continue supporting Women Employed with your gifts. We need them in the battle ahead. And thank you to everyone in this room today. Together we are stronger, and we cannot do this without you. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I told you, out on time. Thank you.